All right, we can big it up and show the people them. Hundreds of reasons to vote for PNP. Right? All right, let us start from the beginning. That is PG. Let us start from okay. Let us start from Norman Manley here. No, the man never talk about PNP no have nothing like this. Make me show you that we have better than that. This is the right, excellent Norman Washington Manley Party president between 1938 to 1969. Now, look at the achievement, right? At the birth of the People's National Party in 1938, the founding president Norman Washington Manley declared the People's National Party is called the People's Parties because it will unswervingly aim at all those measures which serve the masses of the country. It is called national because it is pledged to the development of the national spirit. Under the leadership of all four party presidents, the PNP has carried out policies and programs consistent with this commitment, not flyers of lies. Now, number one, Norman Manley and the PNP were the architect of the 1944 Constitution that brought universal adult suffrage to Jamaica, giving every adult the right to vote. You hear that? Number two, 1949, the PNP launched the Plan for Progress, which became the blueprint for Jamaica's economic development, making us one of the leading developing nation in the world. Number three, Norman Manley and the PNP in 1953 introduced ministerial system of government in Jamaica, which led the way for constitutional advancement. It was the advocacy of the PNP in 1959 which led to Jamaica achieving internal self-government. Now you realize why JLP are trying to hide the document here. Norman Manley and PNP demanded and negotiated Jamaica independence for 7.5 years, 1955 to 1962. Norman Manley and the PNP shepherded an unprecedented expansion of the Jamaican economy. The annual average growth rate during that administration was some 6%, and in the fiscal year 1956-57, the economy grew by 14.1%, establishing a record that is not much or surpassed by any administration since then. Right? You see the reason why Jamaica Labour Party tried to hide this document. In 1955, the establishment of the Central Planning Unit, now Planning Institute of Jamaica, marked the beginning of planned economic and social development in Jamaica. Number 8, in 1957, PNP administration introduced Jamaica's first 10-year development plan. The Beach Control Law of 1955 gave all Jamaicans right of access to our beaches. Number 10, the Norman Manley administration introduced the Watershed Protection Act to preserve the environment and protect our water resources. Number 11, the Scientific Research Council was established. Number 12, the 1956 Industrial Incentive Law facilitated growth of the manufacturing sector. So when we're talking about programs, these are what we are talking about. We are not talking about flyers of lies. We are talking about programs of substance. Let me shift now to the next candidate. Now, the People's National Party. Here we are. So we leave from Norman Manley, right? Okay, number 13. A small business loan board was established to promote small business development. The Bank of Jamaica Act was passed in 1960, and the bank began operating in 1961. Let us give them the history. Let us, comrade, you understand, Manleyites, let's show them that it is the People's National Party build Jamaica economy, not them. The Export Industries Encouragement Law 1956 provided additional incentives for export. 16, the Facility of Titles Law introduced in 1955 made it possible for thousands of small farmers to obtain land titles without going through traditional expensive and laborious application process. 17, the Land Bonds Law 1955 allowed the start of land reform in Jamaica by granting the government access to idle lands in exchange for bonds. During the Norman Manley administration, tourism experienced its first golden age with the establishment of the Jamaica Tourist Board. Now, Antoine can do something like this. You see anything like this in its flyers? Hey, look, man, will come out and run up his mouth. Can Antoine do something like this in its flyers of life? The expansion of both major airports and the opening and development of Negril as a tourist resort town. Can the Jamaica Labour Party present something like this? No. 19. A new agreement negotiated with the backside companies increased the royalties they pay Jamaica by 400%, thereby boosting the country's revenue. Do you get that? The Norman Manley administration introduced the common entrance examination in 1957 because of their deep concern that a large number of children of poor parents who were unable to pay fees should be afforded the opportunity of the good grammar school education, right, with fees being paid by the government. And let me stop right there. You see, this is a government that try to use our bus to rob the treasury and use the children as political pawns. No, real program to uplift our children. Now, as me tell you in the reverse, you have to go to prison. Initially, 2,000 students annually were given fully paid access to high schools, increasing enrollment from 11,600 in 1957. Too much people? Sit here, not tell no lie. That's why they document. That's why they try to wipe this off of the internet. 19,236 in 1962. Look at that. PNP built Jamaica. The 1957 educational reforms also included the establishment of the College of Arts, Science and Technology, otherwise called CAST. Now the University of Technology, UTech. Real social programs. Can Andrew Wallace come out with something like this? Can he step away with the flight of life? Kingston Technical School and the practical training centers and Dintil and Ormwood were converted to technical high schools to feed into CAST. The Jamaica Broadcasting Corporation was established in 1959. Establishment of Government Board Casting Service, which created a government information service. Now the Jamaica Information Service, which Jamaica Labour Party now they use as benefit, as well as School Broadcasting Service, which broadcast the school curriculum via radio. Work on the National Stadium started in 1955 and was completed for the independence celebration in August 1962. Let us give them program. In 1959, when PNP celebrated its 21st anniversary, Norman Manley could justifiably claim it is our party that built the national movement, that took Jamaica out of colonial matrix, that redeemed the soul of our people from the dead hand of our bondage, that liberated the energy and the will and the spirit that has swept us forward and onward and upward for the last 20 years. We don't have none of them ministers who involved in a cash plus, who involved in a holding, who involved in a SSL, side with them Confederates to rob investors, cripple our country, cripple our economy, and definitely wipe out every effort in terms of what Portia Simpson and Philip Powell done. But they are phony, you know. But they are phony, you know. Under the Norman Manley-led PNP administration, Jamaica had India became the first two countries in the British Empire to cut trade links with the racist apartheid regime in South Africa. Not only that we deal with situation locally, but People's National Party defend black people on an international basis and deal with it internationally. We, the People's National Party, build Jamaica. Let me tell you that. Now, you know what I'm going to say now. Trust me. And I say time will come.
We can continue that tomorrow.
I say time.
We can continue until the time.
People, let me tell you something. See, shall me heartbeat there. All the Jamaica Labour Party and yo, more want to look for programs. Programs after programs after programs. Yeah, that report talk about bus after bus after bus after bus after bus. And what we see, them are broke down after broke down after broke down after broke down after broke down. We don't hear them the business there, you know. But if they run out, bus after bus after bus after bus after bus, and when you look, you see broke down after broke down after broke down after broke down after broke down, and then you see how good 20% of the engine them good. Come, listen to the program. You come in the right boss, come listen to the program. Hey, I feel proud of the boost people. They take me up, you know, man. Let me tell you some, I love People's National Party.
Let me just drop something to them boy or whatever.
Melting pot, you know what?
Let me just polish off the guy that will come out and attack boy.
Hallelujah.
And if PMP can do this. When me look on that thing that way I show that little pamphlet there, you know. Yeah. Me just say that Oracle pamphlet with them print call the yellow school bus tonight. So I don't know we know history. This is a real history we have in front of we. Factual history. You understand? So right away we can refute for them claims, you know. Because them can't fool nobody. You understand?
All right.
Them blueprint is corruption and destruction. And so them don't build nothing called nation, as in all the People's National Party build the country that, and the people them accept that. You understand? Because reality is in history documented. You understand? If you do back your research, you see so the reality of the People's National Party is to build Jamaica. It is all there in black and white and in colored. You understand? So them people are over there so now, them people just do the right thing, you know.
All
and
right.
just pack up and come out. Yes.
So let me address that person who claimed that PNP doesn't have any book as it relates to those so-called, you know, fires of lies that Andrew Holness, right, concocted, right? No, PNP, the truth be told, PNP doesn't have a book. As a matter of fact, what we are going to give you, we're going to give you the library. So please stay around, sir. And we are going to invite you to come into the library. PNP don't carry book.
599 reasons.
Right?
Reasons.
And we are going to give you 599 solid reasons why you are to vote for, why you need to jump from the Jamaica Labour Party, right? And vote for the People's National Party as a matter of fact. Let me tell you something, my friend. If I show you a book as it relates to JLP corruption from 1954, maybe you would have poop up yourself. So we don't have no time for that. Let us go into this People's National Party library. We don't carry books, you know, and we don't carry flyers. A library one, a library of social programs. So you stand by for the library, sir. Come into the library, come into the People's National Party library out of order. Your few little pages of lies where you run out with. You make me get into the library. All right, so we did
Norman yesterday.
Yes.
So we've gone to Michael today.
Let us do Michael Manley today.
1 sec. Just bring it down. There we go.
Okay. All right. Now we had covered Norman Manley. So Norman Manley, the founder, or one of the founders, I should say, right, had created several social programs and the pathway to success for the nation. The pathway to success as it relates to democratic socialism. And so then when Daddy Norman finished his tour of duty, he handed over his tour of duty to his son, Michael Manley. You know, and I tell you, Michael Manley, right, shine beyond the horizon. Michael Manley, indeed, pull on his father's footsteps. And I tell you, he built on what Daddy Norman had left. So now let us introduce Michael Manley. And with Michael Manley, many of the social programs that Michael Manley created, I tell you something, Jamaica. Fortunately, as we speak today, these are the programs still being utilized in today's life, right? 2025. Many of these programs being utilized, right? So let us introduce Comrade Michael Manley. Comrade Michael Manley will always be remembered as Jamaica's most passionate and unrelenting campaigner for social justice. The Jamaican workers will always remember Michael Manley and the PNP for the body of legislation and programs which expanded workers' rights and raised the workers' standard of living, including the minimum wage and the compulsory recognition of trade unions. Let us dig into Michael Manley. 28. The abolition of the master and servant law to establish and protect the rights of workers. Michael Manley did that. The People's National Party did that. The Status of Children Act replaced the archaic Bastard Act, giving legal rights to children born to unmarried parents. Many of you now, right, who going against the People's National Party, right, don't even know these things. So that's why it is important for us to share these things, that some of the things that you are benefiting from is not from the Jamaica Labour Party, but the People's National Party. The maternity leave law, which granted paid leave to new mothers. Employment equal pay for men and women Act became effective 1975, and let me stress on this. Many women who found themselves in the Jamaica Labour Party, do they realize that Michael Manley, the People's National Party, fought for equal pay? It is not the JLP party who had done that. It is not the JLP party who had the love and care for and respect for our ladies to ensure that their work was equally measured and equally appreciated as the men. And so then, men and women, right, Michael Manley, right, had now crossed that bridge in terms of having both men and women, right, getting equal pay. And so then, I will ask many of the ladies who are supporting the Jamaica Labour Party, right, what are some of the reasons that they are supporting Jamaica Labour Party? You understand? Now let us move on. Free education. The abolition of tuition fees in secondary schools. Big thing, listen up, people. And so then we have to lament. Free education. Michael Manley was able to offer that with a solid social program that benefited many of them, and those who benefited from this program now going against the People's National Party. Now we talk about ungratefulness, you know, right? And a lot of them don't even remember this, right? A lot of them, when we talk about ungratefulness, right, the People's National Party still travel, right, the culture and the history of democratic socialism. And so then what we need is to remind you, just like that ignorant person who claimed that the People's National Party over 20 years cannot provide anything like the flyers of lies that they came out with. He didn't know that the People's National Party doesn't have flyers, they have the library. Now, establishment of Jamaica movement of adult literacy, Jamal. When a system forget the elderlies who hardly could sign their names, who hardly could formulate letters into words. But Michael Manley remembered them, stretched out his hands to them, and created Jamal. Right? I wonder if the one who talk about PNP can't show nothing like the flies of flies. Because it appears that if, you know, the possibility, he might also benefited from Jamal. I don't know. Now, the GC Foster College of Physical Education was built to train sports professionals. Creation of the Cultural Training Center, now Edna Manley College of the Visual and Performing Arts. Plenty Jamaica Labour Party supporters, they will not come here on this program when we are reading out this, because social programs like this will shame them. Will shame them. And they will have to do an introspection, go in front of the mirror and ask themselves, why am I voting for Jamaica Labour Party? What Jamaica Labour Party has done? Have the Jamaica Labour Party done half of what the People's National Party had done? Now, come on. Access to education was significantly expanded by increasing the number of institutions as follows. Built 93 infant schools. Want to hear that, people? Andrew only spent 9 years, going 10 years, and cannot show one school being built. Built 67 primary schools. Want to hear that, my Jamaican people? Built 44 new secondary schools and built 4 community colleges. Now you tell me now, my people. Established Montego Bay, Brownstown, Knox, and Excelsior. Those are the community colleges. The establishment of the National Housing Trust, a fundamental social program that served millions of Jamaicans. Millions of Jamaicans. For that dunce, right? Who is speaking that PNP cannot show anything as it relates to the flies of flies. Maybe he's one of those who benefited from NHT. Is to show you how ungrateful, right, and ignorant some of these bastards are. The establishment of the sites, and see here, NHT is where Andrew Warren is now dibbling in every year. So NHT now becomes a personal piggy bank. Is Michael Manley social programming? That Michael Manley created this for low income. Now Andrew wants to take it and destroying it. Destroying it, my people. And so the many of contributors, the millions of contributors are not getting the benefit of what Michael Manley had designed for them. And the Jamaica Labour Party government had changed and shifted the mandate to appease them and their friends and political kickbacks of contracts awarded to their friend. My God, put NHT out of its true sense of purpose. The establishment of the sites and services housing project to accelerate the construction of low-income housing, significantly expanded the land reform program to provide increased access to land and boost agricultural production. The rural electrification program, REP, was created with the wiring of some 30,000 homes, benefiting 270,000 Jamaicans. The Special Employment Program was created to provide employment 11,500 jobs for the large pool of unskilled workers. An additional 7,000 jobs were created under the Youth Employment Program. We want entrepreneurs to show something like this. Of all the book of flyers, show one solid program. One solid program like what we are reading out now. Right? Open the book. Entrepreneurs, you show us one solid program. The Employee Share Ownership Program. Now, all right. Opportunities were created for small and medium-sized business to expand through programs such as the Micro Investment Development Agency. The Rent Restriction Act was passed, reducing the power of landlords to arbitrarily raise rent for tenants. And so Michael Manley looking out for the poor. That's why we talk about Michael Manley and the People's National Party, poor people governance, they care for the poor. The establishment of the National Commercial Bank, formerly Barclays Bank. Airport Authority of Jamaica created and see National Commercial Bank now turn Andrew Wallet's friend bank. Michael Leachin. And what Michael Leachin now is now doing with the banks. Right? Running what? Money laundering, money for anti-wellness. So then tell me something. And this is why you want to vote for Jamaica Labour Party. Right? Here it is. The establishment of the National Commercial Bank, formerly Barclays Bank by the People's National Party. And what Andrew Wellness has done with it now. Turn the bank into a Ponzi scheme incubator. National Commercial Bank is a Ponzi scheme incubator, and where it is washing millions of dollars from Andrew Wellness. You know, like you me talk at the facts. Facts. Airport Authority of Jamaica created the establishment of the Port Authority of Jamaica. You know what I believe say a JLP do them, huh? JLP no build Jamaica. It's PNP build Jamaica. The establishment of the Bauxite and Alumina Trade Company of Jamaica, BATCO, to ensure that Jamaica got maximum gains from the bauxite, mining and sale. Michael Manley do that. That is one of the fundamental reasons why they fight him down and damage democratic socialism, because they realized that Michael Manley was for the people. When Michael Manley did this, many of the so-called PSOJ, the elite, right, the peace, right, put up and left Jamaica. You understand? Because they did not like how Michael Manley was giving the opportunity, creating opportunity, equal opportunity for Jamaicans, all of us, whether you're poor, middle class, or rich. They didn't like it. They want to keep the spoils for themselves, the wealth for themselves. That's why them pack up and create mayhem. Seaga join them. Michael Manley, propagandize Michael Manley. That Michael Manley, right, was leaning towards Cuba. Right? This is the viciousness that Jamaica Labour Party had done to wreck Jamaica economy. We could have been better, much better than Singapore. You are going to tell me that if the People's National Party wasn't doing an excellent job, do you believe that the Singapore Prime Minister would have left Singapore and come and take our model, our economic model? They wouldn't. He wouldn't. But it's the very same economic model that been executing in Singapore today. And look at Singapore and look at us. Look at us. We have been damaged as a result of the Jamaica Labour Party. This is a party that's supposed to be, politically wiped out of our history. Simply means not being supported by the electorate. This is a party, a criminal network, very active, damaging the lives of Jamaicans. The establishment of Alco Minerals of Jamaica, Jamalco. You know when think of JLP do this? They established of the Jamaica Bauxite Institute. You think a JLP do this? The bauxite levy was introduced to finance national development. What Nigel Clark had done and Andrew Holness. You never know about this, you know. I'm teaching you this. The bauxite levy was introduced to finance national development and protect Jamaica's interests. Recently, in 2024, before Nigel Clark run away, Nigel Clark reduced the levy to 0. How much of you who know that defending the Jamaica Labour Party, that the levy that we used to get how much $1 billion from Andrew Holness and Nigel Clark removed that levy and collecting political kickbacks. We heard about some trucks who have been there, you understand, dealing with haulage. Who won those trucks? That is a question that needs to be asked. Who won those trucks? It is the selling out of the bauxite levy, the selling out of our people's interests, political kickback by Andrew Holness. Andrew Holness, you will have to face the judiciary. And let me tell you something, a big mama, Emily Shields cannot save you. Creation of the Office of Disaster Preparedness. No, the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management. Right? The creation of the Integrity Commission in 1973. So people, you see how far the Integrity Commission, right, it's coming from. The creation of the Integrity Commission in 1973. You see how far? The establishment of the Kingston Export Free Zone. The establishment of the Petroleum Corporation of Jamaica. If the people them want me to continue with this, let the people them answer yes or no. Because I don't want to bore the people, you know. People tell me if you don't want to, or if you don't want to carry on. Please type it in the chat. Let me know there. You understand? It's okay, right? Because I don't want to bore my people. Because as me say, we don't carry book, you know. We carry library. What people are saying?
Yes, one, yes, so far. Yes, people continue, and yes, we need to put it out.
Okay, so let us put it out there then. Because more often know my people are supporting me, you know.
Yes.
All right, we can move on. The Bureau of Women's Affairs was created to address issues critical to women. We know that many men abuse women, right? In the sense of many of the times you have single parent home. Men who got several women pregnant and just gone and just, you know, don't have any form of interest. And so many broken homes. Michael Manley decided that no, we have to protect this. We have to protect the family. When we say People's National Party, right, is the party that builds Jamaica, responsible for the future progress of Jamaica. Jamaica Labour Party rub shoulder against it to fight it down, bring it down, mash it down, crony capitalism. Yes, we are here to teach. The Jamaica Maritime Institute was established. My people, that's where Andrew and the administration will read and then thief up the money. Want to remember, you know. So Jamaica build and then mash down. Jamaica create and then destroy. Over 100 community enterprise organizations were created to mobilize entrepreneurship at the community level. Look at that. National Youth Service was formed to create a cadre of patriotic young Jamaicans for national development. More than 1,000 community aides were recruited and deployed across Jamaica. You see what they go on with our healthcare system now? You see what they go on now, healthcare system? Our healthcare system, let us talk about that. that the People's National Party built the healthcare system. And what we have now, $922 billion unaccounted for under the Ministry of Health. Jamaica Labour Party, do you feel me tonight? Many community health centers were built to facilitate primary health care delivery. Right? Maternity centers built to provide prenatal care to expectant and lactating mothers. Spanish Town, St. Catherine, Lucy and Nova, Black River, St. Elizabeth, Portmore and St. Thomas, Fair Prospect, Portland, Dias and Nova, Castle and Nova, expansion of Victoria Jubilee Hospital. That's why the Jamaica Labour Party tried very hard to wipe this document off of the internet. Yeah, man, we have it. We have it. We have it, man. So you try hard to wipe off this document off of the internet and then fling out your garbage as it relates to what you fling out, right? Your flyers are flies. So that it convinces fools like what talking about that PNP cannot create any book of social programs. We don't create book of social programs. We carry library. So stand up and listen to me if you listen to me. Intensive care units built at Kingston Public Hospital. And every one of these, I don't know, Penke program. I don't know, hold on. You see any school bus listed in this? You see any old school bus, but they brought down listed in this? And we call it program. We don't see we put any old school bus in this and call it program. We don't take one of the flyer German. Intensive care unit, these are things that we create. Intensive care units built at Kingston Public Hospital, Bustamante Children's Hospital, and University Hospital. New Nurses Training Center built at Clanwell Regional Hospital.
Benefited.
And my wife benefited. And she's right beside me now, fighting. You understand? To tell you the truth. Right? That when you go to the poll, let's call it, when you go to the poll, remember all of these social programs that we are talking about. Vote to preserve them. Because the Jamaica Labour Party on a mission to destroy Jamaica and destroy these social programs. Electoral Advisory Committee created in 1979. The Ombudsman Act passed in Parliament. People, that goes to show you at the time what Michael Manley thought process was as it relates to free and fair general election. Michael Manley is showing you that although he had done so much good for the people, it is the people's choice to select a government. Andrew Holness crushed the political ombudsman, damaged the political ombudsman, right? And try to mix up Jamaica and confuse Jamaica. That the electoral committee is doing the function of the ombudsman. And with all of the anti-punky going around on it, you don't have anyone coming out and try to correct the behavior of these men. Dead silence. But this is what Michael Manley had done. Michael Manley said, in spite of all the good that I have done, I am giving you the opportunity to choose your government. Creation of the National Gallery of Jamaica. Michael Manley awarded the United Nations Medal for the fight against apartheid. Let me tell you something, Jamaica people. This honor, like Andrew Holness, can never ever, this honor can never ever be bestowed upon him. Michael Manley was only powerful locally, but internationally and globally. That Michael Manley do only involve in social programs in Jamaica, but involved in social justice globally. We remember the South Africans, what they had went through the apartheid system. Michael Manley is the first prime minister in the Western Hemisphere who stand up against injustice. Stand up against injustice. Also, this was one of the reasons that they fight against Michael Manley. I said, let me ask some black people, right? Let me ask some of us, why the reason you are voting for the Jamaica Labour Party? Why? But I left you for you to do your introspection. Now, watch out, man. You don't think you see the program yet? Hold on there. I have to drop my pants to this one. People don't think you see the program yet? But let me tell them big, loud, and clear that of all the prime ministers that have gone through the hemisphere of the politics, P.J. Patterson had created the most social program between 1992 to 2006. And we have the history here. And that's why we said education is important. And why education is important? Because you know, knowledge is power. And so then when we said people power, what we are talking about when we said people power, giving back power to the people, simply means it goes to the basis of education, that we need to educate our people for full awareness. And so that you know, if the Jamaican people did have full awareness, if all of Jamaican people did have full awareness, JLP wouldn't get one vote. Argument done. P.J. Patterson, let us welcome him, introduce him. You understand? The architect, right, who designed many social programs that the Jamaica Labour Party run up and down in it and use it. P.J. Patterson, the architect of the modernization of Jamaica's physical and economic infrastructure, is the only Jamaican prime minister to have led his party to victory in 3 consecutive general elections. Did you believe that P.J. Patterson, right, did force on himself to the people for the electorate to bring him back 3 times? No. Did you believe that P.J. Patterson walk in the night and even they make loud noise? You understand? You know, the people in the community in the early morning. P.J. Patterson don't do none of that. P.J. Patterson don't do none of that. What P.J. Patterson has done is to make social programs, implementation of these programs, talk for him and work for him, because Andrew Wallace don't have no social programs. Then he have to walk.
Stand up in that traffic.
He must stand up in the traffic. He must turn traffic police. Don't they know the
flyers?
They hand out flyers.
Toilet paper.
PJ don't do them stuff there. PJ don't need to do them stuff here. PJ, what we call about implementation and utilization and execution. That is what PJ Patterson used. Ask Andrew Holness to do implementation, right? And put them to work and execute them. He doesn't have one. And so then he has to walk, he has to create fires of lies. Huh? Yes. Have you seen PJ Patterson in Cash Plus? Have you seen PJ Patterson mixed up in OLIT? Have you seen PJ Patterson mixed up in SSL? Yeah, man, I'm beating tonight, man. Come in front of the class. Under PJ Patterson's leadership, more Jamaicans own land. You don't want to check the history? You don't want to check the history? Then ask yourself the question. If under PJ Patterson, more Jamaican own lands, ask yourself the question. Why are you voting for Jamaica Labour Party? Why are you supporting Jamaica Labour Party? Had access to decent shelter, access to water, electricity, and telephone service, than ever before. His non-confrontational style. You think PJ Patterson would have seen that GLP made an application to use the space in Crossroad, and then he deliberately done off a tree, you understand, to create opposition and confrontation? You think PJ Patterson would have done something like that? Do you think Michael Manley would have done something like that? Do you think Portia Simpson would have done something like that? And certainly, Mount Jefferson Golding is not going to do something like that, because you talk about standard. So when Emily Shields talking about excellent service that she had done, Emily Shields, have you done a research on what I am showing? And let me ask you, Emily Shields, why are you defending and being a political operative for the Jamaica Labour Party, when you, Emily Shields, benefit from several of these programs that I am talking about now today? Yeah, Emily Shields, but me leave you for your introspection. It is for you to answer. Right? So, Emily Shields, since you talk about you inspired by God, don't you realize that the Jamaica Labour Party try to instigate violence? Or me not hear you say anything from that. Not one time you come out and you speak against the posters that they are tearing down. Nothing. You silent on that, Emily Shields. And you talk about the honor that bestowed on you must come from God. Let me tell you something, Emily Shields. If you don't realize, Satan also gives people honors. Satan also gives people honors. And there it is that Satan had given Andrew Wallace honors to join Cash Plus, honors to join Olint, honors to join SSL, and to rob investors, the demons of hell. The modernization and expansion of the infrastructure of the islands, airports, seaports, and territorial waters to enhance the environment for investment. Jamaica Labour Party can do that. The construction of a modern highway system beginning with Highway 2000. Let me talk about this. Many of you know who talking about the Highway 2000. That's why I should have just researched that. When this come in, what Seaga said to PJ Patterson? Seaga said to PJ Patterson that Highway Kenya. Who remember that? Who remember that? And now here is the Jamaica Labour Party now. Right? Merging himself. Right? As it relates to PJ Patterson's success. Putting all that name on Highway. When you think of these things that we're talking about, people. The virus. The political virus that continue to drag us down and pull us down. The construction of North Coast Highway from Negril to Port Antonio. What do you think Andrew Wallace can't touch this? Because we run out with this and we show him up. Some stop and talk about the highway because we push him on our fight. I said, boy, this is not fear. Some can't talk about any highway. Eh? So the book of garbage one come out with. Right? None of them things are as it relates to solid social program. The pamphlets that him come out with. Right? You don't have one solid social program. You know that? Preparation and rollout of the tourism master plan for sustainable tourism development, major tourism expansion. Look, because many Jamaican people don't realize this. People's National Party build it. Major tourism expansion. And look at the following. New Ritz-Carlton Hotel, Grand Palladium Hotel, Grand Bay Principe Hotel, Iberia Star Hotel, Standards White House Hotel, Secret Resorts, Royal 1, 2, 3, and 4 hotels, among others. Approximately 30,000 jobs created in the tourism sector. Let me ask Andrew Honest. Show 1,000 where you created. Show us 1,000 where you created. If you show me 1,000 where you created, right? Trust me. You will be doing something. But you cannot show. And you want to speak a third term. And you want to propagandize the People's National Party. Said never make them hold a hand on the economy. Eh? And to allow the thieves to control the economy. And the further in our treasury. All of these, what I am showing, develop the economy. And we have to show the people. No wonder why Mr. People, they try to wipe this off of the internet. But we have here, man. We have here for them. Jamaica visited by a record 3 million stopover and cruise tourists in 2006. Farmouth cruise ship pier built, not by labor. Port Maria Marine built, not by labor. Montego Bay Convention Center built, not by labor. Tourism enhancement fund created, not by labor. Tourism Product Development Company, TPD Co. formed, not by labor. South Coast Tourism expanded, not by labor. Significant expansion of bauxite and alumina production, not by labor. Jamaica Deposit Insurance Corporation was created to protect depositors in the banking system. Created the Financial Service Commission, right, to regulate the non-banking financial institution. And so then when the FSC shut down SSL, what thieving government do? The thieving government allow them to continue and realize them. Look at that, man. See kind of people, see the evidence here? Creating the Financial Service Commission, right, to regulate the non-banking financial institution, to tap the Jamaica Labour Party, Confederates to thief. And so then in 2012, Post-Simpson administration doing the people's job, locked down SSL. Andrew Honest came in power 2016, and in 2017, him couldn't wait. Him couldn't wait. Right? Lecker. Stuart Lecker, who sits on the board, allow the corruption to continue and realize SSL, and they know that SSL was a Ponzi scheme. Know that SSL was a Ponzi scheme. And know that the Prime Minister was Ponzi scheme upping. Know very well that the Prime Minister was Ponzi scheme upping. Jamaica, let me ask you the question again. Why are you, those who decided to vote for Jamaica Labour Party, look at what the evidence is today and what we are presenting, and ask yourself the question. Why are you voting for the Jamaica Labour Party? Right? For me, who are standard, integrity, I, under no circumstances, would allow myself to be associated with a criminal network. Identify myself loud and clearly that I'm a criminal, because I support criminality. And if you support criminality, then of course you are a criminal. Foreign exchange market liberalized, Fair Trading Commission created, personal income tax rate reduced from 33.25% to 25% to provide more disposable income to taxpayers. And you hear that, people? Expansion of the mandate of the Art Trust by establishing the National Training Agency to serve the workforce. PJ Patterson done that. Unemployment reduced substantially, reaching a record low of 9.6% in 2006. 64 schools built Let's read about that now, man. 64 schools built and refurbished, including 17 new basic, primary, and high schools in Western Jamaica. Let me ask Andrew Honest, who served there for 9 years in the political process at the helm, how many schools have you built, sir? Eh? And you are telling Jamaica, right, that they will make a mistake if they vote the People's National Party in? Eh? And what? Allow the thief to continue to thief? Now, 64 school built. Let me ask you, Andrew Honest, how many schools have you built? You should have shame. You're a despicable person. National Youth Service reintroduced in 1994, provided free textbook in schools at a cost of $3.3 billion. Early Childhood Commission established the establishment of the National Council on Education. Poverty eradication program, right, reduced poverty to 9% in 2006 from 30%. What on there? Because we never know this. So let us compare in terms of what Andrew wants. Same do. We shall lie at 10. So I run out to the PIOJ, Planning Institute of Jamaica, to tell the public lie that it reduce poverty, right? Reduce poverty from 18% to 9%. And acting like that a performance. Watch this on people. Poverty eradication program reduced poverty to 9% in 2006 from what? 30%. Do that and beat it. Do that and beat it now, man. 1989 that. Do that and beat it. And because you can't do that and beat it now, you are telling the president of the PIOJ to come tell that. Mighty God. Introduce the poverty alleviation through health and education part program. I hit you are used now in our hands. Significant growth in the national insurance fund generated a larger pool of funds for the provision of social security benefits and assist in reducing poverty. Under the National Insurance Scheme, the NI Gold Health Plan was established to provide health services to pensioners. And Joe, let's match up all of that, you know. The establishment of the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, the establishment of National Health Fund, Jamaica Drug for the Elderly Program, JDEP introduced some 50 new ambulances were commissioned into service for the health sector. Let me ask you a question, Andrew Honest. How much new ambulances do you put in? Eh? Let us get it right. Let us get it right here and get the record straight right here. When we Christopher Tufton run out, I never repeat what Christopher Tufton said. That no party in the history of Jamaica, no other administration in the history of Jamaica spent the most money on health care. Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, Christopher Tufton. Show me 10 new ambulances. Show Jamaica 10 new ambulances. And so then let me ask you where the money there, where you spend. Because the healthcare short $92 billion. So if we cannot see the improvement in the healthcare, we have to look for your pocket. We have to now look for your pocket. Because we can't see the improvement in the healthcare. So then we have to look on your pocket and your lifestyle and the businesses that you own. Well, let me tell you something. You will have to talk to the judiciary. Let me leave it there. Hospitals built and upgraded. Maypen, Mandeville, Anatole Bay, St. Anne's Bay, Black River, KPH, Bellevue, Cornwall Regional, and Falmouth. From day one you come into power, you don't upgrade Cornwall Regional Hospital. And all now, what you have converted Cornwall Regional Hospital into is a cash cow. Right? And so then taxpayers' money continue to bleed and lean away from the true purpose and gone into your pocket and your friend them pocket. And you run come out, they talk about your administration spend the most on healthcare. Let me beat it tonight, man. Let me beat it tonight. My subscribers, they give me the authority to beat it tonight, and I beat you. Regional health authorities established to improve management of our healthcare system. Now, 108, right? Public Broadcasting Corporation of Jamaica, established, right? Done by the People's National Party. During PJ Patterson administration, information technology was promoted as a vital sector of the economy. Liberalization of the telecommunication sector enabled the introduction of additional service providers, which resulted in hundreds of thousands of cellular phones being available to all Jamaicans. Establishment of the Office of Utility Regulation, liberalization and expansion of the media market, more TV and radio stations, and establishment of the cable industry. DLP can't talk nothing like them sort of social programming. Right? If you're looking at them pamphlet of peer fat, hey, what is that excretion in it? It's living urine. The access of information, the establishment of the Central Information Technology Office, established the Universal Access Fund, the establishment of Sports Development Foundation, stadium built in Falmouth, Trelawney, Sligo, St. Catherine, and Catherine Hall in Montego Bay. Many multi-purpose courts and community playfields were also built and upgraded. Can JP do any of this? Can the Jamaica Labour Party do any of this? The establishment of the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA. I hit Andrew Holness now. The manipulated. NEPA. Hook it up in my office, you know, and I manipulate it, you know. Now, just don't let it go, man. We don't have 2 or 3 weeks here if you let it go, you know. Just a matter of time. Right from the corner. Created the National Commission on Science and Technology in 1993 to accelerate national development. 120. The establishment. Look how much program PJ Patterson did, man. Look how much program PJ Patterson did. The establishment of the culture, arts, sports, and education, Chase Fund. Major housing expansion resulted some 150,000 houses being built in 18 years up to 2007. True. And you tell me now, Andrew Holness, you promise you're going to build 70,000. Almighty God. It's only 1,500 you build? 9 years, 1,500. So if you take 9 years to build 1,500, and we give you another 9 years. Not only 3,000 out to build. So now I can make a comparison now. PJ Patterson, 18 years, 150,000 houses built. And you, Andrew, want to spend 9 years and only build 1,500. And if we double that, only 3,000. Then what on there? Which party they build Jamaica? Which party they build Jamaica? Which party is for the poor people? We want to see that, you know. Major housing expansion resulted in some 150. Andrew Holness, can you not tell us if we step up to this? Because I will be insulting you. Can you creep up to this? Because I creep your baby. Can you creep up to this? You can't creep up to this, you know. You understand? So we're not telling us to step up to this. Can you creep up to this, sir? Take for yourself and allow the People's National Party to go through. People's National Party, full speed ahead. NHT, joint ventures with private developers, relocation 2000, Operation Pride, Indigent House Program, Sugar Sector Housing, Inner Sector Housing, the establishment of National Housing Development Corporation, land ownership expanded through land titling, Operation Pride, Emancipation Lands Project, the establishment of National Solid Waste Management Authority. I said them behave like Through the liberalization of the motor vehicle import policy, ordinary Jamaicans were now able to own a motor vehicle. You hear that? Eh? Can JP do something like this? Eh? Can JP do something like this? The establishment of Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, and where the People's National Party also align and have a rural school bus system. So when Emily Shields are talk about, I don't make it look like a Darrell Valls. Darrell Valls do what? Darrell Valls done evil to Jamaica. Darrell Valls used the Jamaican children for pawns, for political pawns, and suffer them. That's what Darrell Valls done. And so then you, Emily Shields, you could have never, I am only showing you this, Emily Shields, to show you that you could never be inspired by God. You're inspired by Lucifer. Okay, 15,000 houses in bill. But you know, remember when I started off right, because I said 3,000. Right, so 15,000 houses in bill. Right, 3,000. So 3,000 to 150,000 houses. You understand?
Still not rich.
Can't creep up to it. Because he can't step up. He can't creep up to it. Now the establishment of the Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, and so then the People's National Party had created already a rural school bus system. Eh? And do it honestly, without rubber dime. They have fabricated any stuff. There is bars, right? Use the children as pawn to rob the treasury of $1.4 billion. But let me tell you something in a direct bar. Let me tell you something in a direct bar. We don't watch you know. And when we tell you what you're keenly, because you bring in roughly about 25 to 26 buses or 28 buses. I don't know how many buses you've been bringing in, but somewhere there, between 25 to 28 buses. But you utilize the budget for $1.4 billion. Darrell Valls, I tell you, Darrell Valls. You see, all the goonies are going and they go on TV and they go on this and they go on that and I try to drag out the argument and you think you are not to worry about this. I know we have to worry about it. It is the Integrity Commission investigators who are going to check out the procurement process for these buses. You know? I hope you have an argument to tell them in Darrell Valls. Because everything will be investigated in Darrell Valls. Nobody say, because number one, you're all dunce. You're all dunce, Darrell Valls. You're not even can hide the wrongdoing. New transport centers built at Halfway Tree and in Montego Bay. The establishment of National Works Agency. The establishment of the, I see them want to come take over NWA now. Imagine. The establishment of the Postal Corporation of Jamaica Limited. Right? Okay. Yes. National Contract Commission was established. Office of the Public Defender was created. Office of the Professional Responsibility, the Bureau of Special Investigations, and the Police Public Complaints Authority was set up to monitor and investigate alleged police excesses. Established the Corruption Prevention Commission. Implemented the Possibility Program with a care center and a skills employment center for children and youth living and working on the street. Expanded gender equity and enhanced family life through legislation such as Domestic Violence Act 1996, Property Rights of Spouses Act 2003, Child Care and Protection Act 2004, legislation dealing with early childhood education and security of daycare. So when Andrew Walnut run out with him pampas, with him what you call it, pamphlets of flyers, pamphlets of lies. You understand? Can him show something like this? Can him show something like this? Create the Emancipation Park for recreation and entrepreneurial activities such as markets, physical activities for children, walking or jogging, cultural and art activities and community events, right? Implemented the 2.5 billion Lift Up Jamaica community improvement and see there the IBA 2000, right? Signature. All right, let me go to the panel before,
get back to this.
and then we get back to this. Now, panel, just please, forgive me, but I have to show Jamaica the reason why. Remember, we can't joke in this thing now. 2 weeks left. They have 2 or 3 weeks left for general election, We have to give the people them the truth. We have to give the people them the reason as to why they need to vote for the People's National Party. All of what People's National Party had done and what they are going to do.